concentration preventing someone from harming you. It is of 5 levels, kamadhatu, and 4 dhyanas. Acquiring the dhyanas. Question. Does the acquisition of the dhyanas involve other modalities? Answer. The absorptions of delight are acquired by birth or by regression. The pure dhyanas are acquired by birth or by abandonment. The anusrava concentrations are acquired by abandonment or by regression. The anusrava concentrations of 9 levels, namely, the 4 dhyanas, the first 3 arupya samapattis, the anagamaya and the dhyananantara are able to cut the fetters. Actually, the anagamaya and the dhyananantara are associated with the sensation of equanimity. Creation minds. When a person possesses a dhyana, he also possesses the creation minds of the lower levels. In the first dhyana he thus possesses 2 nirmanasiddhas, that of the first dhyana and also that of kamadhatu. In the second dhyana, 3. In the third, 4. In the fourth, 5 nirmanasiddhas. If the ascetic who is in the second, third, or fourth dhyana wishes to understand, see or touch something, he must resort to a consciousness of Brahmaloka i.e. of the first dhyana. When this consciousness disappears, the perception stops. The 4 apramanas, the 5 abhijnas, the 8 vimoksas, the 8 abhibhitvayanas, the 10 krishnayadanas, the 9 anuparvasamapattis, the 9 samjanas of the ashohabhavana, the 3 samadhis, the 3 vimoksas, the 3 anusravendriyas, the 37 bodhipaksakadharmas, and all the qualities of this type come from the virtue of dhyana. Here they must be explained fully. V. Dhyana paramita. Question. You should have spoken to us about the virtue of dhyana. Why do you speak of dhyana only? Answer. 1. Dhyana is the source of the virtue of dhyana. By possessing dhyana, the bodhisattva has compassion for beings who, having at their disposal the many felicities resulting from the dhyanas and the samapattis, do not know how to pursue them, but seek their happiness in outer things, impure and painful. The bodhisattva feels great compassion at this sight and makes the following oath. I will act in such a way that beings obtain all the inner bliss of the dhyanas and samapattis. That they may be freed from impure bliss and that, in dependence on these dhyanas, they finally reach the bliss characteristic of Buddhahood. It is in this way that the dhyanas and samapattis take the name of virtue. 2. Moreover, in the dhyanas, the bodhisattva does not relish any enjoyment, does not seek any reward and does not pursue heavenly rebirths as reward. It is in order to tame his own mind that he enters into dhyana. By the skillful means of his wisdom, he will be reborn in kamadhatu in order to save beings there. Dhyana takes the name of virtue in this case. 3. Furthermore, when the bodhisattva has entered into his profound dhyanas and samapattis, neither gods nor men can know his mind, his support, and his object, for this mind is not disturbed by what is seen, heard, thought, or cognized. Thus, in the Pimo Lokai King, Vimlakirti explains quiescence to Sariputra. Do not rely on the body, do not rely on the mind, do not rely on the threefold world. In the threefold world, not to obtain either body or mind is quiescence. 4. Moreover, when a person hears it said that the bliss of the dhyanas and samapattis surpasses divine and human bliss, he abandons the sense pleasures in order to seek the dhyanas and samapattis. But seeking bliss and benefit for oneself is not enough. The bodhisattva does not act in this way. It is only for beings that he wants to acquire loving kindness, compassion, purity of mind and the dhyanas of the bodhisattva who is not dissociated from beings. In dhyana, he produces the feelings of great compassion. Dhyana contains marvelous innermost bliss, but beings renounce it to seek external bliss. They are like a wealthy blind man who, not knowing and not seeing the many treasures that he possesses, goes out to beg his food. Those who know have pity for a person who, having at his disposal such marvelous objects, cannot know of their existence and goes to beg from others. In the same way, beings possess in their minds the bliss of the dhyanas and samapattis. But unable to actualize them, they turn to seek outer bliss. 5. Moreover, the bodhisattva understands the true nature of dharmas, and so, when he has entered into dhyana, his mind is at peace, and he is not attached to enjoyment. Heretics, even in dhyana and samapatti, do not have their minds at peace and, as they do not know the true nature of dharmas, they are attached to the enjoyment of the dhyana. Question. However, the arhats and pratyeka Buddhas are not attached to enjoyment either. Why do they not possess the virtue of dhyana like the bodhisattva? Answer. Even though they are not attached to enjoyment, the arhats and pratyeka Buddhas are without great compassion and consequently they do not possess the virtue of dhyana. Furthermore, they cannot practice all the dhyanas completely, whereas the bodhisattva is able to do so. Whether these dhyanas are coarse or subtle, great or small, profound or lowly, whether they concern an inner or an outer object, the bodhisattva practices them all completely. This is why the concentration of the bodhisattvas is called dhyana paramita whereas those of other men is just called dhyana. 6. Moreover, the tirthayikas, sravakas and bodhisattvas acquire all the dhyanas and samapattis. There are 3 kinds of faults in the tirthaka dhyana. Attachment to enjoyment, wrong view, and pride. In the sravaka dhyana, loving kindness and compassion are slight. They do not have at their disposal a knowledge in regard to the dharma sufficiently sharp as to progressively penetrate the true nature of dharmas. Being exclusively interested in their own selves, they destroy the lineage of Buddhas within themselves. In the bodhisattva dhyana there are no defects. Wishing to unite all the attributes of Buddha, they do not forget beings during the dhyana and they endlessly extend their kindness even to insects. Kindness of Sankakarya towards animals. Thus the Buddha Sakyamuni, in a previous lifetime, was a RSI with a conch-shaped headdress named Changcho Li. He was always practicing the 4th dhyana. Interrupting his respiration, seated under a tree, he remained immobile. Seeing him in this posture, a bird mistook him for a piece of wood and laid her eggs in his top knot. When the bodhisattva awoke from his dhyana and noticed that he had bird's eggs on his head, he said to himself, "If I move, the mother will not come back, and if the mother does not return, the eggs will spoil." Therefore he went back into dhyana and came out only when the nestlings were ready to fly away. 7. Moreover, except for the bodhisattva, other people cannot be introduced into the dhyanas with a mind of kamadhatu. The bodhisattva who is practicing the dhyana paramita is able to enter into dhyana with a mind of kamadhatu. Why? Because from lifetime to lifetime, the bodhisattva has cultivated the qualities and thus his fetters are slight and his mind soft and tender. 8. Moreover, other people eliminate the passions by means of a knowledge concerned with the general characters of things, such as seeing the transitory, painful impure nature. The bodhisattva, by contrast, has eliminated the passions by analysis of the specific characteristics. The Kimnari and the 500 Arsas. Thus, 500 Arsas who, while flying about, heard the song of Achintyo Lo Niu. Their minds became enraptured, they lost the basis of all their miraculous powers and fell to earth all at once. Druma's action on the Sravakas. Some Sravakas heard Tiawan Luan Mo, king of